Welcome back to Vchannel. Today we will continue with a review. Super unprecedented details about the product. I can tell you it's not just my personal opinion, but of many brothers. At the present time, this is a car with the most beautiful design. VinFast in the product awards, and this is the version. For VF7, we're going to have 3 versions, which is Eco Plus. And the highest version is VF7 Plus with sunroof. First we will go to outside before the overall design we see. We'll have a car. I have a very athletic blood, you guys. The front of the car. As you can see, we're going to have very sharp edges. Always healthy. It also goes into the layout of the car. And this capsule, you see the thickness is also very good. There will still be a very stylized light strip, especially VinFast. And this is the LED strip. The level of perfection is also very high, brothers. We're going to have a 360 camera, guys. A device that has to be said. I am very happy in this car. It's pretty sharp. If it's really as sharp. Like cars, 3 billion. It doesn't get there, but, and compared to this amount, at about 1 billion more. This is a really sharp camera in the segment. We'll have LED light clusters with a very sporty design. It's very personal. It also fits into the overall structure of the car. We're also equipped with front sensors. It comes with a radar sensor. This is a device that's actually, I feel, very valuable. Here we will continue to have a stylized piece. It also fits with the hole. Look. It's not too complicated. We also have a real wine hole here. It's going to cool the wheels here. It's not just a stylized piece. Decoration only. The aerodynamic effect will also be better. Look at general. The design of the car is quite good. Next on the side, here we'll have a reflective part. It also has a good accent. We're going to have a pretty thick bit here. The charging cap is placed on the front. I like it very much. Rear view design is mounted straight up instead of a car door like this. So it'll increase the amount of light. However, this rear view mirror, I think it has a minus point. It's a bit thick. This part, guys, it's a bit from the inside. We can see it very clearly. Is that it's going to raise the blind spot significantly. We'll have a doorknob. It will have an aesthetic effect as well. The aerodynamics are without blocking the wind. It may be a bit confusing to use at first. We can see that it's very convenient, brothers. Here, gently, I'll stick it in here with my thumb and open it. Here we'll have a relatively low ceiling. This will help the center of gravity of the car to be lower. The car is more stable, and according to the overall design of the car, it's sporty. And here we're going to swipe down. Hey guys, it increases the toxicological However, it will bring a minus point for inside that's. We'll have a decent ceiling. We'll be in a minute. In general, the ceiling of this car is quite low. It's only 1.65 meters. It's higher than this car. And then, we also have fish fins. And then this part is swiped out the back like this. As well as here. This part of the glass, you see, is clawed. Down here, longer. Behind makes the car feel more slippery. It's very clear. It's also designed here. Look at the muscle car. This part is. You'll usually feel it's your thigh. The car is stronger. Then we move on to the next part. Wipers are also cleverly designed. It's located up here. It's designed like this. We're also equipped with a power outage, folks. It's very gentle. There's a very wide trunk. Can be comfortable for long walks. Like today, we're going on a trip from Ho Chi Minh City to Nha Trang. Oh, my luggage. It's very comfortable up here. In the back, we'll have a camera. It has up to 4 sensors on the back. The design of the back looks similar. The future, brothers. Here we'll have a solar light. It's designed like this. It's clad in. There's a lot of intersections. As well as, it's designed with a sense of the future in mind. Here we also have the long-running LED part. VinFast brand identity. From the back, we'll see this. The car has been clad in 3 senses like this. These are the designs of the cars. High performance. It won't be as square as your old car. See the old cars. It's almost perpendicular like this. But it's clawed here. It'll increase the aerodynamic especially effect. The sideways wind. It's like when we change lanes. It's going to create a glide path like this. The aerodynamic effect will be much better. Obviously, this is the learning curve of the sports car. And here's the bottom cladding. It's very thick. We've got a 20-inch tray. It's made the car a lot worse. It's insulated like this, guys. In addition to CNC steel parts, we'll have more plastic in here. It's also very. It depends on your aesthetic point of view. However, personally, I don't like it very much, especially this one. Or look inside the disc. He looks healthier. However, it's just a person's personal aesthetic. Maybe you'll find it beautiful, but for me personally, I see it not very well liked. Next count, a very important criterion. That's the thickness of the shell. This is the cap. In the front, It's all very thick. And these are the new cars. It will use composite materials due to the probability it will be more than the rest here. So most of the new cars are composite, including high-end cars. This is the front door, back door, and close the door. Always sure. The door handle is designed like this. I also like the traditional door handle, 100% always. It will be scratched on the door plate by the fingernails we touch every time we open the door. There's absolutely no such thing here. So by opening the door, we're going to be like this. It's absolutely no contact with the nail. The back part. Here, it's a little thinner than the door. And this is the roof. Extremely thick always next. It's a fairly thick composite, and this is the back. It's very thick. The latter part of the trunk is the thickest. The thickness of this frame is very good, so the ability to soundproof the environment. This car is really good. The whistle, engine sound, the car around it is small. However, the sound insulation of the tire is not good, brothers. Your experience will be clear. We just need to go over 40 kilometers. Over time, we're going to listen to this tire. It echoes quite clearly. It's also partly because of the size of this tray. It's up to 20 inches. And this part of the tire is also quite thin. It'll increase the luxury of the car. But in return, we have to, at the expense of the noise of this part of the tire, it's relatively not good. Can find out the solution. That's what we're going to do. Then we'll discover. Caps are very heavy, guys. Always heavy. The quality is starting to improve. It's very thin. And even the paint on the inside. This is also completed. It is very good, not to be confused. Some cars are very beautiful, however. Cost savings are. The inside may not be painted, or the paint is very sketchy. Over here, we see that the paint line is also very good. And the paint of this car, I appreciate. The paint is very good. And this is inside. The entire electrical part in front of it without use. This previous part is like a trunk. Here we will have CBDU aluminum radiator with kit. Handle made in Edier made in India. Hav Boss. It's very high quality. These jacks. Also very sturdy quality. Here we'll have a glass wash. And wheel recesses. We see it very clearly here. It's also equipped with a plastic coating. The wheels are very heavy. However, well, it's not enough for sound insulation for this 20-inch tray. Here we'll have the ABS braking system. The battery is in the VF7 series. Dongnai battery. Some VinFast cars use NMAC. This is a fuse box. It's all very well done. And here we also have more ballast bars. It's very tough. It's over here. It's a load-bearing bar. It's very thick. And even the plastic parts. You see the quality of plastic. Let's make contact. We'll go to the inside. We'll have a very comfortable space. You can even stretch your legs in the back seat. I can't adjust my back, but a level of comfort and spaciousness. Very comfortable. We'll also have a handlebar here. And there's a water tray. Very delicate design always, brothers. 2. Run out slowly. This is the middle position. There will be a bearing bar, so it's slightly raised. But I see it doesn't affect either. Very comfortable. Even sitting in the middle. This middle seat is pretty wide, guys. It's not narrow, and we have it. The front door here uses chiseled leather. Here's the hole again. The front seats also have a cooling function. It's very effective. We are also very lucky here. There is also an air conditioning door in the back, and it is aluminum. Aluminum CNC rougher handle to cooler always. We'll have both Type A and Type C chargers. Power up to 90 W. I used it to charge MacBook Pro. I see that the charging ability is very good. The charging capacity is very high. Next is the door. Up here we will have used leather material. There are these stylized seams. This is a real sewing line. The plastic is fake leather. We have a speaker. And this is the aluminum door handle. Both of these parts are aluminum, which is always new design with water recesses. And there's a really big speaker down here. On both sides will be equipped with 2 lights. Here we also have air curtain bags. There's also an airbag in the total. We'll have 8 airbags. Height of ceiling. Sitting in the back is very comfortable. My head is far away. Though, the design is a bit swiping down, but with the height, this chair is reasonable. So, we're still open. It doesn't feel too small. Spacious in front. Both sides as well as the ceiling. And the equipment here. Unfortunately, it doesn't have ambient light. There is a minus, brothers. Talk about the appearance of the plastic is bad, guys. The paint is thin. Just used it, and it peeled off the paint. Next, the 2 seats in front of us, we're going to have electric adjustment. Recline and lower the chair. Forward and backward. And this is where the driver's seat is. Every position one like first is that we can adjust the high-low cable interval. However, it is not only manual, with electric correction, but it's good to adjust. When I go to inside, I usually talk about the steering wheel. The feel of the steering wheel in detail is very important. Will also be covered in leather like this. The grip is pretty good, thanks to this skin. But this steering wheel is really athletic. It's going to be pretty small, guys. If you're used to using conventional cars, take this steering wheel. We'll feel it even very small. However, when running around, in a few days, you'll get used to the size of the steering wheel. We'll have all the functions here. This button can be used to adjust the mirror. Here we will have cruise control as well as support automatic lane keeping. We will test a function later. It's very useful. Here we will have the distance from the previous car. Adjust the speed and remember the old speed. The very advanced functions are always here. We will have trip passing. However, it will have about a half-second delay. Guys, we'll have a central screen facing the driver, and it's surrounded by aluminum cladding. This is almost instantaneous sensitivity. And we'll have a 360 camera. That's pretty cool, guys. All the functions are integrated on the screen, including adjusting the air conditioner down here. Then we will have digital transfer as well as electronic brake. There are a lot of similarities with car wrap. This is also made of aluminum. It's going to give us a sense of the future. However, personally, I don't like the basic functions. Like air conditioning, it's on the touch screen. Instead of having a row of buttons, here I want the car to retain those basic functions. We don't need to look. It's also adjustable and very hands-free. Instead of having to search on this touch screen. But here, it's all integrated. It's all on the touch screen. And here's the insulated saddle that's generated like this. Yes, this is also aluminum. It's quite advanced. We'll have the hard button. Door lock. But this is a minus, guys. This design makes it. Our hands are hard to handle. It's a little bit over. But our hands have to go back to press this button. Here we will have the volume of the CNC. It's very nice. There are the water holes for the phone. And here we also have the advanced function. Wireless charging is also available. In this section we will be used. Leather source material here will have two of the air conditioning. The bottom is made of plastic. ABS plastic is quite thick. We have each case. It is relatively small. And these guys also use. Here's the aluminum part of the door. And here's the structure. Poland will be like this. Unfortunately, there is no ambient light. If there is car ambient light, it will be more advanced. In the front then, we will have a head-up display. We'll get a lot of perspective. Like this. In the driver's seat, it's going to be quite airy. Not very futuristic. The front watch. This head-up display. In fact, it's very useful. The part of our eye that's next to the cylinder, that's a big minus, guys. This part of the paint is also thick. This part of the cylinder is extremely large. We'd have a big blind spot plus like this. A rear view mirror design like this. We've got one more blind spot. And the ceiling of the car. In the foreground, we'll see that it's a little low, plus this part of the door. It's going to be quite taller than our shoulders. I will feel sitting. It's low down. Sports cars often have this design. It makes us feel safer. More solid. I have a borderless mirror. Anti-glare power. Front camera. Used to read signage. As well as identifying the vehicle ahead. As well as the lane. It works very efficiently. But when at night, it's going to be a little bit wrong, guys. In lane keeping as well as identifying obstacles. The ceiling uses fabric rather than using leather. Here we'll have the pink mechanical button, the ceiling light. But from the driver's point of view, it's a bit confusing. So it's not open. The ceiling is just low. And there's a very large camera cluster here. Here in combination with this thick cylinder. This is the chair. We have leather. Looking at general, I am very pleased this front seat. He hugged me very close. It's a nice slope. We also have air vents here. This chair is also equipped with a cooling function. It's nice when we turn on the cooling. Is this chair it's cooler? Thick. It's nice to hug body. Here we'll also have a fairly compact case. Not very big. Integrated surface without sucking. It doesn't get very thick, but the general view is relatively broad. It's covered in apricot here. It's always quite luxurious. This is the most important part we will test. Feeling of driving, huh? First of all, the number shifting keys. It looks good here too. But it's not very convenient, guys. The one I like the most. It's always the gear right here on the steering wheel. I also have VF3 later. The first is that the steering wheel is very light, very comfortable. You can even use one or the fingers to hit it. The steering wheel adapts to electric power, and when traveling it will be heavier. High speed, the size of it is sure. If we're used to using conventional cars, go up, the size of this wheel is quite small. And now we're going to switch cruise control. I really like this function. And with a radar system that's like camera system, it can keep its distance from the front, lane recognition, and now, I can completely get my hands off the wheel. It's automatically cornering. It's very smooth. It controls continuously and can remove the leg from the pedal. It'll automatically maintain that speed and also the distance from the previous car. However, pay close attention to your brothers during use. In fact, it's a long way off. From Ho Chi Minh City to Nha Trang, I have tested very carefully. When we go in, it's sunny like this during the day. Yes, it works very well. But if it's late afternoon or early morning, it works without standards. Maybe it's running. It breaks suddenly. She said there's a car in front. To test the stability of the chassis as well as the suspension, we will do the slalom test. The chassis is pretty solid, guys. It's stable pretty well. This suspension is not very rigid. It's not very soft either. Our car is not too big, but it's solid. It's not like a sports car. It's neutral, and now we're going to accelerate. 100 to 110 kilometers is now. The speed is very good too. The engine it whistles is also very small. Compared to other cars, it is quite small, and when we switch lanes, it's still very simple. I still feel it's solid, not unstable. It's pretty good for the feeling of driving. About head-up display. Too good, brothers. Although this hole is a little big, it's visually a little deep. It's not very beautiful, but the power is too good. We'll see that the number is very sharp. Speed limit. Index T with control. Middle lane support battery percentage. Speed and so on. It shows up on this head-up display. It's about sound insulation. Through this shirt microphone, it's not very realistic, but you experience will surely realize one thing. That's sound insulation. The environment is extremely good thanks to this chassis. It's pretty thick in the segment. However, the sound insulation, the tires are not good. The noise it makes coming from the tires is pretty clear, even when we're on a city road. The road is not too rough. Running at over 40 kilometers per hour, it's pretty clear to hear the crest of the wheels coming in. This point is a bit unfortunate. If you'd like to upgrade, can add sound insulation for wheel recesses. Sound insulation materials are now also very diverse. I also made a video to show you how to make sound. Even the cars. As popular as Avanza, the noise level is quite high. But after the sound insulation, it's very effective. If this car adds for more wheels of sound insulation, then I see that. The sound insulation is amazing. Especially with electric cars that don't have engine noise and on long journeys like this. Then I realized very clearly one thing, that is, even when running a circuit, from Ho Chi Minh City to Nha Trang, always very healthy because the tram doesn't have a buzzing sound. It doesn't wobble like a gasoline car. There's no smell of gasoline. And especially with this car, it's a lane-keeping aid. It's driving for us. Cruise control. Keep your distance from the car. It's that we drive extremely leisurely. I can let go of my hand now, or it is best if the put hand is like this. Well, we mostly just keep it that way. No need for continuous control. So our heads are light. Fatigue mainly due to too much and constant concentration. Yes. And now it's very relaxing. This car is not recommended. Let go. We have to keep our hands up. And if we let go, in about 10 seconds, it will report. It reminds us to put our hands up now. It's self-driving level. Just at that support level, it says put your hands up. Put it lightly and it will come back. The vision of this car, as I said. This cylinder is too big. This is the one that I find to be the biggest. This car compartment. The ceiling is quite low. There's a lot of downhill ahead. There's very little left of our glass. You guys combine with this door. It's pretty high. It's right around my neck. It should feel it's quite mysterious. It's a combination of glass and a whole camera module. It's bigger than my gang here. So it stuns our vision a lot. The ceiling we're only looking at here should be in our field of vision. It's actually quite mysterious. That's a common characteristic of sports cars. The rest is, when you go long distances in this chair, it feels so good. Then adjust the air conditioner. I feel hot right now. If I want to adjust the air conditioner, I look here. This is also a little small. I have to adjust the wind. You have to look a little bit focused instead of the buttons. Are you familiar with the car or not? If you need to look down, but can be adjusted. Compensate for this car's voice recognition. It works extremely well. There are also advanced functions such as open the light, up and down the glass can be adjusted outside by voice. The air conditioning. VinFast reduced the temperature to 16 degrees, baby. Has set the air conditioner to a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius. The response is a little slow, guys. I finished talking, and it identified. Speaking of air conditioning, the common point of electric cars, and then this cooling system. It has to serve to cool the battery too. It should be in hot weather. Like this. The efficiency of the air conditioner has been greatly reduced. Like now. It's down 16 degrees. But it also feels a little hot. At this time, you can increase the fan level to VinFast. Increase the fan to 2. Adjusted level to blower. It's cooler now, but Compared to gasoline cars, this air conditioner is especially in this hot weather. The performance it has, not equal. The wind is not very cold. Next is the glass. For the windshield of this car. Yes, the first thing you should do when you get the car is to glue glasses. It uses glass that's pretty good. It's also a little dark, but it's not UV resistant. Then the sun gets hot. You should always wear good glasses, like 3 meters crystalline, through actual temperature sensing tests, as well as UV testing. It really works very well, this car. It cost about a 10–20 million for gluing glasses is better than before. Talk about the back glasses. From this perspective, it's clear that it's very narrow. It's narrow. We have a very small observation range. It's as narrow in height as it is on the side. Asia stylized. It's a 3-way claw pattern. It should be the vision. It's narrow behind us, brothers. In return, we have a 360-degree camera that's pretty sharp. The processing speed here is also good. And as for the driving mode, we're going to have 3 eco-driving modes. Normal and sport. General characteristics. Then there's a very high capacity. 1. The peak of light. It comes very early in the cycle. Very low with it, not like gasoline cars should be. We're comfortable speeding up. You want to overtake any car. If you don't notice, it's easy to get to fast. Even the eco mode. I've seen it's very powerful. There are 2 eco and plus models. So here we have a double capacity plus. The wiper joysticks. Cement controller use rough plastic material. It looks very solid, but it's about the feeling. I don't like it very much, guys. It doesn't create a clear hiccup. The same goes for other VinFast cars. I'd like it to have a more clear wedge. As for the rearview mirror, the curvature is quite good. It should be the rearview mirror. There's nothing to complain about. Together with, will be integrated with blind spot warning function right in the mirror. It supports us very well. We went to lane. The vehicle in the back. It also reminds when we back off. If there are means of intersecting, reminder is very helpful. At this price in this segment, it must be said that VinFast has a wide range of options compared to other competitors, especially because this engine is so powerful and this feeling of driving. As for the chassis, I think it's pretty solid. Hanging system, to lane even when traveling high-speed ranges. Well, it's still very smooth. It doesn't feel like the car is floating. This suspension, if it's hard, like sports, it's not hard. We still feel it. Soft pamper. But it's about really flattering. It's not for me either. The majority of users are the opinion of many brothers when I switched to the electric car. It's hard to go back to the gasoline car. I also agree with that opinion, brothers. I'm a guy who drives an electric car and a gasoline car. But I'm used to electric cars. Get used to the way this electric car accelerates. I saw the petrol car in the same segment, or maybe even the higher end. It's still weaker, obviously. The second is that it doesn't vibrate. It's not lumpy. It doesn't smell like gasoline. In times of especially traffic jams, then we don't have to waste energy. We can park and turn on the air conditioner comfortably. Even sleeping in the car. It's very reassuring. You need to worry about the gas getting into the car. It's overwhelming and dangerous. General view overview. It will give us a sense of comfort. Soft core relaxing. Car capacity, it's fake excess. Especially when going to the pass. Then we won't feel our car pulling up. The cycle of numbers is trying to work. It's very generous. Deliberately pedaling is fast. You'll get dizzy by the acceleration so fast. When you're going long distances like this, there is no fatigue. By the sound of the engine. Because of the gas. Because of the humming of the car's engine and the cost. The operating cost is also very low. About the sound of this car's engine. You can feel it very clearly just by walking a little bit. Pedal the grain. Then we heard a soft howl. Compared to other electric cars, what I see is the engine of this car is good. The sound of the motor is very small. What I just said is the sound. It's a little too much on the tires. Environmental sound insulation. And the engine sound insulation. The sound system of this car is quite good. The magic is quite easy to dry and quite clear. The bass is good. The next thing I want to share is this car doesn't have spare tires. Brother. Although this car also has a built-in tire pressure sensor. But there is no. Spare tires are also quite inconvenient in return. You'll get a comfortable backrest. And this touch. That's very high, guys. We don't see any holes. It's going to control all of these functions. We're going to have Apple CarPlay. Android Auto is integrated. In the F section, we'll see the battery percentage. Battery temperature. It's like a distance that can be traveled at 37 degrees, where the battery temperature is about 37 degrees. The radiator fan, we'll hear it howl a little louder. The rest of the engine is very small. You can also see VI. It's going to disable the VI function. When we're driving, just watch the video when you stop the car. That's the characteristic. To ensure safety, we also have a browser and some games. Then the V7's lighting system. Just enough to use. It's even a little dark. As for the face, it is far different. It's also adapted to technology. It's very advanced. It avoids the glare of the opposite
When
car.
it detects that there's a sign,
It also automatically mixes up.
But what
if there was a car across the road? It will also drop. It's very human. This is a review of VF7. Thank you for following up, brother. Subscribe to your YouTube channel to see the knowledge of technology news, as well as technology product reviews. Goodbye and see you later.